Chodesh Tov. Today is Rosh Chodesh Av, the first day of the month of Av, which is the beginning of the 9 days of mourning period, when we mourn the destruction of both of our temples in Jerusalem. And in fact, just as it says in the month of Adar, which is when Purim is, that when Adar comes in, we increase in joy. The Talmud tells us that when Av comes in, today, we decrease in joy. It's the only time it tells us, Mishenichnas Av Mimatin Besimcha. And tradition in many communities, as in ours, that we don't eat meat for 9 days except on Shabbat. We don't drink wine for 9 days except on Shabbat. We don't listen to music. We don't go swimming, etc., to remember the destruction of the temple and to pray and beseech upon God that He restore His glory and His name in the holy city of Jerusalem, the epicenter of the Jewish world and the world in general. Now, today, Rosh Chodesh Av, also happens to be something else. It is the Yarrzeit, the anniversary of the passing of the great Aaron HaKohen, Moses' older brother, who of course was the high priest and did the service in the temple, and was the one that went with Moses to Pharaoh. Now, it's interesting that Aaron is the only Yarrzeit that we know from biblical Torah that it's on the first of Av. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, Leah, Moses. The Torah in the 5 books of Moses doesn't tell us the day of the passing. We learn it from the Midrash, from the Talmud, for many of them, but the Torah only tells us the passing of one person, and that is Aaron. And the question is why? And the answer is a very beautiful answer, because you see, on the day of a passing of a person is the culmination of all their work and life yearning of what they accomplished and what they strove to be. And Aaron, as we know, as we learn in Pirkei Avot, Aaron was Ohev Shalom V'rodev Shalom. Aaron loved peace and he pursued peace. The rabbis say that when Aaron passed away, hundreds and hundreds of babies walked behind his coffin, as children walked behind his coffin. These were children that were born from marriages that Aaron brought peace between husband and wife, between friend, between siblings, etc. Aaron's greatest pursuit was to bring peace between people who were fighting, who were quarreling. And therefore, the Torah tells us the day of the passing of Aaron, that it was on Rosh Chodesh Av, on the first day of Av. Because today, when we begin the mourning period of the destruction of the 2 temples of Jerusalem and the subsequent exile of the Jewish people, and that exile that we're still not out of and we still suffer from, is to tell us that on this day, God wants to tell us what's the antitode, what is the remedy to the destruction of the temple, and that's to be the disciples of Aaron. As we learn in Hillel tells us in Pirkei Avot, Heaven mitamidav shel Aaron, be from the disciples of Aaron. Oiv shalom, love peace. V'rodev shalom, loving is not enough, you need to pursue peace. Oiv et habriot, you have to love every human being, no matter, even if their only virtue is that they're a human being. They have nothing to them, you have to love them anyways. So Makarvan la Torah, you have to bring them closer to Torah. So the Torah makes sure to let us know that Aaron's Yarrzeit is today, because the Torah wants us to understand. We know that the temples were destroyed because of baseless hate, and we need to become like Aaron and have love that is unconditional and constant to everyone. And then we merit the rebuilding of the temple, and we merit God restoring His glory in the holy city of Jerusalem and Eretz Yisrael, and the ingathering of all the exiles. I saw a remarkable story that happened this past month at the Rebbe's Yarrzeit, which was about a month ago in June. And there was this Chabad rabbi who was coming from France, from Paris. He was a Chabad shliach, and he was coming to New York to pray at the Rebbe's gravesite in honor of his Yarrzeit. The day of a Yarrzeit is the day to pray at a gravesite of a righteous person. And before he left, this woman in his community said, do me a favor, I have a note, very important note, that I would like you to take with you and place it at the Rebbe's Ohel on the day of his Yarrzeit. So he comes to New York, but this rabbi has a dilemma, because the tradition is that when you go in to the Ohel, to the brick place where the Rebbe's resting place is, that you read the note and then you rip it up and you put it inside. There's a huge place there, and you place it there. Now, he was uncomfortable reading the note because he knew this lady and it could be the most personal thing she was requesting. But on the same point, he didn't know what to do because he thought it had to be read. So there was tens of thousands of people that came that day. He met another French guy. So he figured to have us a resolution, he said. He went over to this French guy, he says, you read French? Yeah. He says, here's a note that has to be read, but I don't want to read it because I know the person. You don't know who the person is. You can read it and rip it up and place it at the Rebbe's graveside. And that's what he did. A half an hour later, the guy comes out sobbing. And the Chabad rabbi looks at him and says, why are you sobbing? And he says, you don't understand. The note that I just read was a note from my sister. A note that she was writing to the Rebbe. And in the note, she cries that she loves her brother so much. And we've been fighting. We haven't spoken in many years. And she's praying and asking the Rebbe that he should be beseech on high by God, that her and her brother should make peace and agree to become close again like they should be and restore the family to what it should be. And it says, here I am in the Ohel, reading the note that my sister read and how much she loves me and how much she wants to make peace. Of course, the end of the story is obvious. They made up and the family was restored to what it should have been, which was what Aaron did, the high priest, Ohiv Shalom, Verodev Shalom. He pursued at any cost to make peace between husband and wife, between siblings, between friends. And today is his Yarrzeit. May God merit that in honor of us, each one calling a friend or a family member that we need to make up with, that we have a quarrel with, that we need to come to terms with forgiveness. We should do this today. And if you don't know, if you're lucky enough that you have nobody, find a friend who has somebody. And in this honor, may we merit that these 9 days that we begin today, culminating with Tisha B'Av next Thursday, as the Torah says, Yahafchu Yamim Elu L'Sasan L'Simcha, these days may they be turned over to joy and to happiness, which should happen speedily in our days. Have a great day and Chodesh